Hellfire review. Asinine 1980s action throwback provides moderate charm in its bloody simplicity. Isaac Florentine's revenge flick Hellfire is such a 1980s throwback you can practically smell the napalm. Stephen Lang's unnamed, murkily sketched Vietnam veteran vigilante character recalls Clint Eastwood's Man with No Name via Burt Reynolds in Malone. It's the kind of low-budget production that isn't shy about its abject conservative pull-yourself-up-by-your-bootstraps ideology. This is the America your gruff uncle dreams about, where a good guy with a gun can stop a bad guy with a gun, or a whole town full of them. Hellfire is a reasonably good time if you don't expect much outside of the cheap kinetics of a DTV action film. Hampered, though it may be, by poor craftsmanship across the board, there's a certain charm to its nostalgia. Richard Lowry's script is bare bones, but mostly in a way that allows space for the main attraction, which is Lang sweaty, bloodied, and broken to mow down scores of bad dudes. It's not complicated. Lang's character is the type of superhuman that they used to make Chuck Norris memes about. An ex-Green Beret, who is for some reason cagey about doling out his name or any other pertinent information. He has the skill and the tenacity to single-handedly take down entire armies using only his guile. Which is a good thing for the people of the fictional town of Rondo, Texas, since the vagabond has arrived just as the local cocaine syndicate begins amping up its reign of terror. At the risk of hyperbole, it's safe to say that the plot of Hellfire lacks any and all sense of reality. On the surface, there's not a ton out of the ordinary here. It's a simple story about a drifter who takes it upon himself to shield and protect the innocent bystanders of a small town, which is after all the foundational plot of many Western and samurai films. But scratch the surface a bit, and this thing goes from being cute and charming to absolutely bonkers in a matter of seconds. Hellfire takes place in the 1980s, which is a fact that would genuinely go unnoticed were it not for an opening title. There's nothing else here that indicates the time period. That's smaller potatoes, to be sure, but it is noticeable how poorly thought through the film is, which extends to the villain itself, Jeremiah, a soporific Harvey Keitel, a flashy mafioso, in an ostentatious villa in a town that is otherwise so economically starved that the local saloon has a cardboard sign. His business is cocaine, and his more urban, more East Coast vibe is totally anachronistic. Jeremiah and his clan produce and ship cocaine via a specially designed canned beer in plain sight out of their local brewery. The operation proliferates easily. Preposterously so. The implication seems to be that the entire town is under the thumb of this drug operation, and the local sheriff Dolph Lundgren is an active part of the cover-up. Hez also seemingly the only police officer. When Lang's character arrives, saloon owner Owen Chris Mullinax dubs him Nomada, and it sticks. In exchange for room and board, Nomada lends his skills in general repairs, but Owen's daughter Lena Scotty Thompson is nervous about his arrival. The town mafia is so powerful and paranoid that they swiftly turn away any outsider to the town, and Hez worried his presence will make things even worse for them. The way that everyone talks about the outsider, it almost seems like Florentine's film is going to go the supernatural route with a reveal about some even more nefarious villager secrets. But it's much more meat and potatoes than all that, with everyone just going to threat level 10 over one old houseless person. Whatever the case, Nomada does try to leave after one night, but when he witnesses Lena being tossed around by Jeremiah's son Clyde Michael Cero, he decides to turn into John Wick and take everyone down. Hellfire is so overly lit, it feels like it was shot in the aisle of a pharmacy. There isn't a single move here that'll be surprising to anyone who's watched an action film in the last 60 years, but the fights are filmed pretty well. It's a shame, then, that every element of the craft is otherwise horrendous. Hellfire is so overly lit, it feels like it was shot in the aisle of a pharmacy. The music, both distracting and generic, has the distinct quality of generative AI. In an inadvertently hilarious way, the sound effects are as realistic as an Adam West Batman episode. Lang really goes for it here, and he sells the material as best as he can, but suffice it to say that Hellfire is only as entertaining as your bandwidth for bog-standard action fare. Nomada is a cartoon version of a conservative person's platonic ideal of a poor person refusing even innocuous handouts like a blanket to keep him warm. When Hellfire gets violent, and it gets really, really violent, it is shrugged off with the casualness of swatting flies. That can be a fun time, but it is also exhausting fast, making it easy to fantasize early about hitting the open road from whence the vagabond came.